Hey guys, today we are going to be looking at Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Kingdom Cheetor and Transformers Cyberverse Cheetor, and we're going to compare them to see of the two newest Cheetors, which one is probably the best one to buy, because these two are both deluxes. It's not like, and they're around the same time. So let's just see and let's just get into it. So this is Cyberverse Cheetor and this is Kingdom Cheetor. So you can see on Cyberverse Cheetor he has these transparent green pieces, and he's more of gonna take these off, and these are just slots, are just tabs, and they go into the slots in the paws. And then these wings turn into swords, and there's a peg that goes in a hole right there. So just gonna put those aside, and there's a little hooked piece in there. You can't really see it, and then it goes around his ears, and there's no specific, best specific way to deal with that to get it off. But and obviously, so this guy, Kingdom Cheetor, is from Kingdom, and is still is a toy. It's not like Masterpiece or like third party, but you can tell out of the two which way these two figures are aimed. This guy in Cyberverse is a bit more, this is my first Cyberverse figure, but from what I know and from having this figure, is more toy, and then Kingdom Cheetor and like the trilogy is more collector and toy based. So, and he's going for a bit more of a different aesthetic. When Kingdom is trying to go for the G1 Beast Wars style, more accurate, and this one is more of a different idea. So Kingdom Cheetor, the one that I'm pretty sure came out before, is a cheetah, nothing in the tail, and you get articulation because he's a cheetah, so you get arms. Most coolest thing I think is that the paws, all four paws, are on ball joints. But as you could probably see, maybe not, there's a ton of paint on this guy. There's paint all over him. And first things first is that these guys are gonna have flaws in their beast modes, because it's hard to design a robot to turn into a cheetah, gorilla, whatever, than a truck or a plane. It's a lot harder to do this. So I'm a lot more forgiving with exposed hands, feet, arms, because to fit a robot into these into an animal or something irregular like a monster, it's kind of hard to design. And so this Cheetor is a bit more accurate, bit more like a real cheetah, than Cyberverse is a bit more Cybertronian-esque, as if this is what Cheetor transformed into before he landed on Earth, and both of their mouths do open. This is Kingdom Cheetor's, and then Cyberverse Cheetor. So that's really it. These two have almost the same articulation in the legs and the arms, not all the same. Cyberverse Cheetor's shoulders are a bit more lacking, but let's just get into it, because really, what you see for the cheetah mode is what you get. So, not too much to I personally think look at, or something to really, I don't know. Whatever your preference sees, if you're gonna have them in their beast mode. So we're gonna do Kingdom Cheetor and then Cyberverse Cheetor. So we're gonna put him off to the side. So Kingdom Cheetor, you pull his tail off, and it becomes this, like, I don't know, hook. So you're gonna straighten out the legs, and now you're gonna straighten out the paws, and then bring the legs down, and then that'll flip out the robot foot. Same thing on this side, bring it around, and close it up. So now we have his legs all done. We can bring the cheetah arms down, and I don't know why I did this, but at least on mine, this seam, you're going to open him up, so you're going to crack him like an egg and then pull it apart. And it's that, on mine at least, is really stiff. Because, so I would suggest leaving a little crack. And that's not even that big of a crack. But, because there are two big tabs that go into holes, and then you bring them apart like that, straighten out the arms because there are these little hooks that go into slots, and then you can pull them out, rotate the arm at the bicep, and then swivel the fist around. So straighten it out, bring it out, swivel it, and then swivel the wrist around. And then you bring it back down or do whatever you want to it. And this is one of the things that has started, one of the problems I personally have that has arisen, is that there is a tab in here to connect the cheetah head to the body, and those little hook tabs that connect the arms to make the stomach. Is that you can already see that they are starting to stress. And the one up there is broken because they're so small. Is that combined with, not going to say weak plastic, but not the same plastic as some other figures or older figures, is that it makes these little tabs almost ready to break by design and by the material. But just something to say. So now we're going to grab the cheetah head and hinge it down, and then it's going to hinge, and before you push it into this big cavity, there's this stalk. You're going to have to open up the cheetah mouth, so now when it hinges in, it can go in. So it's like that, and that's why you have to have the jaw down. And now you can't just spin his head around. You could, but you have to angle it up and then spin it around, and then straighten it out. Give him his whip, and there you go. And he looks like Cheetor. The colors are a bit lighter, which is fine. There is the Netflix one where the blue is that, like, metallic navy blue. I don't know how easy it is to find that one. Don't know. The face looks like Cheetor. And he's got the little Maximal symbol on his head crest. So, it's a pretty good transformation. It works. The fact that you have to open all that up, and that it can be a little stiff, and then you are basically resorted to either getting like a little knife to stick in there or use the legs like I did to pull it apart. Not a big fan of that. But it's fine. And the transformation works. It's not bad. But where my issues arise for this guy is his feet. His feet are already really small, don't have a lot of space to put themselves, and since they're on this moving hinge, mine are already loose. This one is, not this one as much, but since that's going to be a big moving part in the design of when they fold and unfold the cheetah legs, and also you can use it to, like, for poses, is that by definition that is going to deteriorate, and that doesn't mean everything. A weak ankle joint doesn't mean that it won't be able to stand, but complemented with small and not very wide feet is that on the shelf I've taken other figures off to review and even just to mess with, and I've knocked this guy over, which, it's fine if I hit him, actually hit him, but I accidentally knock another figure and doesn't even touch him, and just the wind or whatever, I guess, I don't know, but can knock him over, and I don't like that. I don't like the fact I want to be able to pick him up and set him down. I don't have to worry about straightening his legs out, and all that. And it's not like they tried to complement his smaller build from the show, because due to all this being the thighs of the cheetah, his legs are already fairly big and bulky, his lower legs, and then they thin down in the higher in the upper legs. So I don't really see the fact why they couldn't have made his feet a little bit wider. Is that a gripe? Maybe. Is that my personal opinion that I would like his feet to be a little bit wider? Yes. And the tail, I don't know if it's compatible with the slashing effects parts, which I don't really know if anyone cares about that. I don't know, because I haven't tried it. But overall, if you he looks good. Just those are my couple of gripes with it. And obviously he's a smaller deluxe, charged for $20 to $22. Some people, they might be written off just like Cliff Jumper and that whole debacle, that he's a small figure. He's not big, he's small. So why is he being charged for a deluxe price point? I don't know. Whatever you think about that is fine by me. But me personally, it's really those feet that kind of drag this guy down a bit. But the fact that he's very good looking to put with original Beast Wars cast, I like it for that, because I really like G1 Beast Wars, and he fits it, and he's a nice figure. But just the feet is something that to me would be a little bit of a thing to drive me away from it. Even though this guy isn't a bad figure, and it's not bad to put on a shelf, not bad to play with, that's just my personal opinion, is that Cyberverse Cheetor might beat him with that. So, let's pull him out. So, here is the Cyberverse Cheetor, and you can already see that he doesn't have a lot of paint on him. But, to me, that's not a big deal. But, we're not talking about the cheetah mode anymore. We're going to transform him. So what you're going to do is just flip up the tail just to get it out of the way. Straighten out the cheetah legs. And now you can stand him up. Now there are these panels that you hinge out, and they have these little tabs, well, these little tabs that go into these slots, and those little pieces that'll go into that slot, like that, and like that. So you just bring those around, bring the cheetah legs down, open all this up, straighten the arms out, swivel them around, and there you go. Now that part is all done. So now you gotta get in here and pull out his fists. Same thing, pull out his fists. Bring the head down. Make sure that cavity is all the way open. Bring all of this down. And now you can shift all that up. His waist piece. And there are different ways that you can put this. I really like to tuck the head in, but the way the instructions say, you bring it up and they're in that little brown tab. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Will go into that slot in the jaw, and that just keeps it concentric. Or you could just angle it like that if you want that G1 look. Or not G1, Beast Wars, original Beast Wars, whatever. I don't know. It's been 1,000 years since I watched Beast Wars, so I can't remember if he actually had that or not. But if you want it to look like, if you like that style with the cheetah head right there, like the Kingdom one, you can. But I personally like to have it completely in there. Of course, it doesn't lock anything in or keep it secure, but what the heck. That's what I like to do. And here is Cyberverse Cheetor. And he is lacking in paint. He's lacking in paint. But I got this guy for, I think, $13. So $13 for a deluxe. And I'll show you. Compared to this Cheetor in height, he's got a couple more hollow spaces and lacking in paint. But I'm just saying, he's a bit taller. And to bring in the weapons, the claws will go into these slots on his shoulders. If I can see what I'm doing. Go into there. You can make him hold his swords or put him up there, I think, but I'm going to make him hold his swords. And then the mask, you just put it in one of the two slots on his arms. And there, he has his cheetah armor on. And it's not the biggest deal for me, but I can see how it's fun. I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's a waste of money and bumping him up to like $13 when he could be like 11. I'm not gonna be like that because I like the idea of it. Not the biggest, I don't really care, but I like the idea. Some people may like it, some people may hate it, and I'm someone that lands right in the middle. Just wanted to point that out. But overall, I like him. He looks good. He has a decent amount of paint for what he needs. Obviously, he could get a lot more like accents to fill him out. But he's got nice big feet. I can put him around and he's not lacking in articulation. He's not lacking in articulation for something that's a little bit less expensive. So overall, he's not bad. For being $13 when he's like 20, 22, he is still very good, and he's got that presence. Like, he's mighty. He's like, unlike Cheetor that was young and kiddiful, he looks like he's a battle-hardened warrior. When, if you don't like that perspective of Cheetor, that's fine. I like Cheetor as a kid, but I like the idea of Cheetor being this battle-hardened warrior after centuries of fighting against the Predacons. But that's pure opinion. And that's my opinion. So, of the two Cheetors today, obviously, this guy, if you want all Beast Wars cast that looks identical to each other, get this one. If you want to just complete Cyberverse, the Cyberverse line, get this guy. But if you don't care about any of those things that truly matter in their aesthetic, which one is the winner? Obviously, there are two different aesthetics, which is fine. We can still compare them. Cheetah mode, I think Beast Wars Kingdom Cheetor pulled it off. Just pulled it off better because he had those accent, the color better, and I like the way that I like the legs and how they transform. So I think I gotta give the cheetah to Kingdom. Transformation, I don't know. I don't know where I stand with the transformation. I think they're fairly equal because they seem like they have almost the exact same transformation. And my theory is that since this guy came out a little bit earlier before him, I bet to make him cost a little bit less is they cut down his transformation into this. And just from transforming it, how the arms fold apart, the cheetah legs end up on the back legs just basically unfold to make the robot legs, and then the cheetah head comes down to form the chest. So I think they're almost equal. He may have like one or two more steps, but I think they're pretty much equal. So, now, robot mode. Which one I like the best? I love the original Beast Wars, but I like the idea and the aesthetic of Cyberverse, and I like how he's all armored up. And I like those feet. I like them. But which one can come out in this at this one? I think, me personally, looking at it, I like Cyberverse Cheetor better. So I think he has gotten that. But obviously this is my opinion. And both these figures I would buy twice. I would buy again. This guy I'd buy again, and this guy I'd buy again. The day I was in the store when I got him, I was on the fence. Should I buy him? Do I want to buy him? And I'm glad I did. Cheetor here, the other Cheetor, Kingdom Cheetor, I'd buy again. Both these guys I'd buy again. But which one, if I was in the position to choose one, only one, which one would I pick? Which one would I pick? This guy, this Cheetor, looks very screen accurate, especially for being a chug. But he's got those feet. He's got a lot of paint. He looks very nice. He has that posability. This guy, Cyberverse, he costs about $7 less. A lot less, which basically is a lot less. He's got a cool idea of having the transparent pieces, and they're tough transparent plastic. They're not going to break. He's got that different aesthetic, something new. And the cheetah mode isn't bad. And he's more of a standalone figure than to go with other characters from the same line, like this guy. So which one? Obviously, your opinion. If you like, if you want to say that the cheaper option is worse, go ahead. Buy the Kingdom one, or even the Netflix one. I don't care. That's this is going to be my personal opinion. If I were to pick, I feel like it's Cyberverse, because he has that charm. He has the cool ideas with the transparent bits. He has that new thing. When, I forgot. And you bring in these waist panels like that just to fill him out a little bit. I was just looking at that. But mainly is that I don't want to be mean to this guy, but the feet. I I know that is such a petty reason to pick a more inexpensive version, but I think that's one thing that has to be checked off when it comes to making Transformers, is that they have to be able to be picked up and set down. You don't have to worry about them falling over due to small feet or loose joints. And I think that I just like the idea of this Cheetor. I like the idea how they portrayed Cheetor. When this one, they're going for that original style, that original vibe. And it's fine because I love that show. But I really, really like the Cyberverse Cheetor. And for what it's worth, $13 compared to 20 to 22, I feel like that is a really, really, really big kicker. Is that this guy can pull off a new idea and look good and be a little bit taller. He feels a bit denser than Cyberverse. Kingdom feels a bit more denser and heavier. But that's my opinion. Is I were to buy this one first if I could go back. And that's my opinion. So, and I think that's it. So, two new Cheetors, and obviously, at the end of the day, you buy what you want to buy. This is my idea. This is how I would look at it and how I would go about it again. But overall, they're stunning figures, both of them. So I think that's it. So Cyberverse Cheetor wins. But that's it. So, I think that's it. I'll see you next time.